Yeah, thank you for attending this session. And yeah, kind of want to present some success story for me for this RSE community and some upcoming research I'm doing or planning to do. And let's start. Yeah, some words about me. I'm a research software engineer at DLR. Not so important. So I'm doing lots of classical RSE works. Some people know me already, possibly from teachings or from me nagging about using Hermes for research publication and stuff like this. But this time it's all about security. And first I want to introduce some history of what happened until today. Because one thing is I didn't come too far with evaluating the results. And the other thing is because it's really I want to thank you and present the success story here. And the story started in 2018. It's the International Conference in Software Engineering, 15th edition, a really great conference. And we had a short paper about the secure software engineering. And we had some crazy ideas on how we could proceed to make our software more secure and follow up this topic. And well, then lots of time nothing happened so much. And then I said, okay, the topic is still very important, very relevant. And I went to UK. And did a talk with a colleague of mine about revisiting secure software engineering for research software. And basically my talk was, all what we had in this paper was dump ideas. We can't do that, but the topic is still very important. And the reasons we had to do this are still valid. So, and this is where the button kicked in and everything got up to speed because one thing happened. We got a new head of institute. Michael Felderer, beginning of 2023, and he brought in some great topics. He's a fan of research software engineering and doing research in research software engineering, and he also had the idea to bring security topics to our group. And that was, great. I want to do this. I'm studying IT security for my master, and that's really, really cool. And the other thing is he has also good network for doing research, good research in an international setting. And then, some time later, I got an email from some Jeff Carver from University of Alabama. I wasn't sure about that, and he thought, okay, I saw your talk at RSE24, and he also has friends. I think some of you know Karina and Tobias and stuff. And he said, cool idea, want to do research with you. And then we started team up. I asked my boss if it's okay, and say, I know Jeff, we're good partners. We had good research together. Let's do something together. This took some time until we had a really good idea how to kick off, because research is security research on the one hand is something which is really institutionalized in Google and big players. On the other hand, we were not sure how specific research software engineering topics are to security and whether there is enough in it. And at the end, we decided, or Jeff came up with the idea. We are ready to go. We have partners. We have security, some expertise. Our head of institute supports us. Great team, great network, RSE network that helps in the research and interesting and collaboration partners, but we don't have a good starting point where to begin our research. So this was our problem. And then the idea came up of saying, there was this really great study about security culture in open source software communities. And the idea was, just let's recapitulate or do this study in the research software engineering field. And the idea was Jeff Carver and University of Alabama does it for the US part, and we do it for the German part. We had a short discussion whether we want to do it in Germany or in Europe, but I thought, my network in Germany is better, and I think we have a strong community and can give good reflection of Germany. And comparing the United States to Europe is also something not so really on level. So the focus was for us on Germany, and I have to first of all thank Jeff and his team because they had the idea of it. They prepared the survey for us. They had the demographics questions in the beginning, done additional vignettes, so they have their own research doing on this. There are at the end. I know maybe a first question here. Who of you participated in this survey? No? Okay, thanks you. But and no blame, it was a really good feedback I got. So it was really lots of results in short time. I'll come to this in a minute. Well, yeah, we were allowed to add some additional questions, and there is this end big package of the vignettes. I think the idea was really good, but it took lots of time to read them through and answer them. And so good thing is they were at the end, so everybody who got until this point are still valid data for the reconduction of the initial study. So that's not the problem. But still, lots of people did all the survey. Yeah, then thanks to my new boss that he supported us in doing the approach, and most of all, I have to thank you because we had like running for 5 weeks the survey over Christmas, so there were 2 weeks where barely nobody was working, and one of these weeks where also the server was completely down. So the first week in January, and still in this short time I got 66 full and 79 partial replies, and I think that's a good base for our network for research software engineering in Germany, and that's your research. Thank you very much. I have to do this. So now, what am I going to show you in the last slides? I'm only allowed to show the German results yet, because we want to do a big publication out of it together. But well, I don't have the US data anyway, so I can't show them. Then the thing is, I just started evaluating the stuff, so I have some nice numbers, some nice graphs, but not too much, and they are all very preliminary. And I'm not an expert in such kind of research, but yeah, working with the Jupyter notebooks worked. And yeah, so my slide deck was just short after midnight finished, so might not be as polished as I wanted it to, but nevertheless, we have some results to show you. This is an overview. This is not very nice. This is something I will improve in a later version. This is a demographic outcome. What can be seen is that we have a rather high degree of rather high education within the people who answered. Then also we have highly experienced developers, mainly who answered the question. I also liked where they came from. And what also is interesting is there is also these the projects which were evaluated are all low power, low person projects, so more like half a person to 2.5 full-time equivalents. So the typical research in Germany. What I want to do with this data is compare it with the research software engineering survey done by the SSI, sorry, to see how good it matches our research community and how good this reflects our complete community. Well, it's for the first, and this is the most important outcome. So on the right, you see the results from the open source community, and on the left, I try to do the same plot for our community. And what you can see here is we are behind the open source community. We are clearly behind the open source community, and that's for me a good point, because there are lots of points that we can tackle and improve and do research on and see why it is not so good and where can it be improved.
So, sorry, what were the questions which were asked for these dimensions? Now we're a bit lacking the context. Okay, we have communication governance, and then we have scoring. What was it?
Yeah, so the questions were on a 5-point Likert scala, and it was like it's important to have secure software in our, and then you could strongly agree to strongly disagree. So yeah, they were statements, and you had to agree or disagree with it. And you can read, they are the same questions as in the initial survey. You can read them there. Yeah, it would have been nice to have them added. Thanks for the hint. But yeah, we need to improve here. And yeah, on the next slides, I have tabular results a bit. So there always the dark line is what the initial survey results were, and the light gray are the results which we had. And I don't want to go too deep into the details here. What's clearly visible is that we are, especially in the strongly agree part, we are basically everywhere really, really lots of worse or much worse than the open source community. Yeah, the same is here for the behavior thing. You can also see the values at the very right are very low. And yeah, I just added them so that if you download the data afterwards, you can look into them. And yeah, then I had a last question added, which is not on the table here because it was not in the initial study, about the legal frameworks regarding the Cyber Resilience Act, which is upcoming, and to see whether the awareness of legal frameworks are better than all the other soft parts, but unfortunately it's even worse. So I think if I go back to this slide, I think the lowest value here is 2.26, and I think the legal category was like 2.8 or something like this. So we have to improve there. So that's already for the data that I can present you today. I will surely update and process it. So the data will be evaluated together with our US colleagues who participate in this survey. And we want also to compare the results between different communities. I also want to provide the data what I just had as a notebook so that everybody can click through the different demographic parts and filter a bit and see a bit more for their focused environment. Yeah, then we want to write a high impact paper on this survey results, and I hope maybe I can present the results already in RSECon UK this year. Otherwise, I'll present it maybe next year. So keep an eye out with it. And it's also a good kickoff for our newly established Secure Software Research Engineering Research Group. And yeah, that's what I want to do. Start more targeted research towards security topics. And yeah, you're my guinea pigs for this. And I'm really grateful that you are there and so responsive and happy to support me. And if you're interested, have ideas, just contact me. We are really building up this group. We don't have clear focus on anything. We try to see some points from here, but yeah, we're open for ideas and open for collaboration. And yeah, one of our main goals is also to make our research software engineering guidelines at the DLR more securely related. So let's see whether this works. And with this, I'll come to an end. Here's the impression. And yeah, what are your questions?